QXO.
Good morning, Munising. Casey Ford live from the Gallery Coffee Company and the Jamadot Studios for Coffee with Casey on this Friday morning. And Gallery Coffee absolutely slammed hopping today. Lots of people coming in for their, like 17 different coffees they can have and tea and things like that. They also have a nice black cherry lemonade that I got to sample a little bit yesterday on. So come on down, Gallery Coffee Company, open until 2 o'clock on this beautiful Friday morning. Also, if you're listening on Saturday, on this beautiful Saturday, a lot cooler on Saturday than it is on Friday, but it's just a great weekend here in the Upper Peninsula. Not too hot, not too cold. You're going to start seeing a lot more convertibles this weekend, maybe put away a little bit for tomorrow as it is going to be a little bit colder. So the reason I bring this up so much with weather and how things are on Friday and Saturday, things like that, maybe a chance of rain on Sunday, is the weather does change so frequently here in the Upper Peninsula where it could be 80 one day, 60 the next, and it's the summer. And everything needs to get, everyone needs to get their events in. That's exactly what's going on. Everybody needs to get their events in. And the weekends are always so packed with things that are to do in the Upper Peninsula. This weekend, there's no shortage of that. Hang on. Okay. There's lots of things going on, and I'm going to see if I can troubleshoot here. I don't know. It sounds good on my end, so I don't know what the connection is up there. I'll try to get to that in the commercial break. So it's one of those things. I'm still trying to get used to this mic on the other side of my mouth. I've always been raised on the other side with the microphone, not this side. It's still really, really a foreign concept to me if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Anyway, there's so many things that are going on this weekend. And like this week, Grand Marais, they have the Seaplane Splash In on the bay. And that starts today. But if you want to see the pilot games, that is tomorrow or Saturday at 2 o'clock up in Grand Marais. You see it up there on your screen right now. You see the Grand Marais Splash In. You also have the Great Lakes Rodeo that's taking place in Gwin. And this isn't at the fairgrounds anymore. They have moved this. This is actually in Gwin. You have the Great Lakes Rodeo that's taking place. You have Pictured Rocks Golf. Yes, there's a huge Father's Day golf tournament that takes place. And this golf tournament is so big. I got friends that come over from Crystal Falls to play in this thing. I have people that come over from Marquette and play in this thing. Obviously, you know that like a Jerry LaFlamme or a Kurt Harabacca is going to be playing in this as well, and they normally perform pretty well, but golf is a funny game, and you can never shoot the same score on the same course, it seems like. Like golf is a really funny game. It's a lot like baseball. There's a lot of things that can and do go wrong in golf and in baseball. So there's a lot of things that are going on, but Pictured Rocks Golf Course has their golf tournament this weekend, and they have to cap it at 90. They could go to 101, but it's literally an all-day event, and obviously the worse you shoot, the earlier your tee time is going to be the following day. And I always joke about this because it seems like whenever that golf course has this tournament this Father's Day weekend, it's either the Saturday that it rains and Sunday's beautiful, or Saturday's nice and Sunday it rains. And right now they're calling for rain on Sunday. I said, why wouldn't it rain? Because it's the Pictured Rocks Father's Day golf tournament that takes place this weekend. But it's always such a huge event here in Munising. So we have those three things right there taken on. Obviously, we have Father's Day weekend. There's a lot of people that are going to be going out and looking around the area, going out and checking Pictured Rocks out, or going up to Grand Marais, not for the splashdown, but there's going to be going over to Newberry, to Quamanah Falls, and Kitchity Kippity. A lot of people are going to be doing this. A lot of people are going to be on the road. So there's going to be a lot of things that are taking place this weekend, and it happens every weekend. Like I know, for instance, I'm actually home next weekend. My wife is going backpacking. There's a lot of backpackers that are in the area. There's a lot of people that are going to campgrounds or going up to 12 Mile Beach or, Chapel, and they do the backpacking thing or they go camping. So I understand why weekends are so packed here in the Upper Peninsula. It's because we have such little time for things. You got to get it in the short period that we have that we call summer here in the Upper Peninsula. If you want to get in contact with us, we are on the Rome Facebook page live along with YouTube. We are live on YouTube. We are also live on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, also at WQXO.com. And then after the show, we'll put it up on Spotify and on SoundCloud for your podcasting pleasures, because we also know that people go out on the boat and they do listen to music or Bluetooth things like this show out on the boat. We see a lot of people watching right now to Coffee with Casey. And I do want to talk about this a little bit, because with the Father's Day Open taking place at Pictured Rocks Golf Course this weekend, what do you guys plan on doing? I don't know how many dads are out there watching right now, but do dads, do they really like want to go out and do things? Like last year, for instance, my Father's Day, I mowed the lawn. I got away, put the headphones on, just cut grass for 5-6 hours. Yes, we got a lot of grass to cut, but I just sat there and mowed the lawn. That's all I did. And it was so peaceful, so relaxing. Like, I didn't really want to go out and do anything. I don't know if dads out there are looking to go out and do things, or if they want to be by themselves. Like, what does a dad's day look like for you? You can do it in the Facebook comments right here on the Rome Media Facebook page. Go to Rome Media and we'll put your comments up on the screen as well. I don't know. That's up to Bryce if he wants to put that up on the screen or not. But what does your Father's Day look like here in the Munising area? Wife has asked me what I want to do. Honestly, I just want to relax. I mean, maybe get and drink like a pot of this, because this is what I do. I drink a lot of coffee every day along with a lot of iced tea. So my Father's Day it's not real eventful. Like I just kind of want to relax and just stay around the house. Liz says I can come mow her lawn on Father's Day. No, maybe you can get your boss, Josh Cole, to go do that while I'm assuming you're working, who works at Miners Falls Mini Golf, which is open at noon daily, by the way. Noon daily, noon until 10. Go get yourself some ice cream, or, play 18 holes. Go say hi. But Miners Falls Mini Golf, great Father's Day activity to partake in this weekend. If you're not playing in the golf tournament, obviously that's a Picture Rocks golf course, but Miners Falls Mini Golf tournament. Miners Falls Mini Golf taking place this weekend here, beautiful downtown Munising. 18 holes. Go get some ice cream and be happy here in Munising. Can never go wrong. Never, ever, ever go wrong with Miners Falls Mini Golf. Let's see here. What else we got? Oh, that's just what we have right now. Also, with a splashdown, you can go up there, see the pilots. And I don't know if anybody's actually ever seen this, but the airplanes are like super soft when they come like over the bay. Like all of a sudden, it's like boom, they're there. It's actually quite a unique thing to see up in Grand Marais if you've never seen the splashdown. The one other thing I did want to talk about this morning is things that have taken place here in the Upper Peninsula, especially here in Munising this past week. And that was the emergency exhibition that has taken place. It was just for practice. There was no emergencies, anything like that. But I had a great opportunity to talk to a lot of people from the U.S. Coast Guard, whether they're stationed in the Sioux or some of them came up from the Cleveland area, things like that. But the U.S. Coast Guard did a phenomenal job with the emergency plan, because you never know when an emergency can happen. And the exercises were great. They were well received. I got to go over to the fire station and talk to a lot of these individuals. they are 100% in love with this area, and they're super excited to be here. So thank you for showing them the UP hospitality and not freaking out when you heard the sirens go off here from the fire hall and up in Wetmore, because it was just a training exercise, and they learned the Great Lakes and got to see some of the water. And today was a good, or would be a good, because of the wind and the red flag warnings about going to do a rescue out on the water. But Wednesday, Thursday, it was a great time for these guys to go out there and practice. And you can't get better. It doesn't matter if it's sports or if it's emergency training without practice, and you need to practice. And that's exactly what they're doing this past week here in Munising. And I'm super proud that we were able to host something like this where they didn't have to go to a Marquette, or they didn't have to go to, a Grand Marais or go down to Lake Michigan. They got to do this right here in Munising, which was awesome. Today on Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO on SoundCloud, Spotify, on YouTube, and on the Rome Media Facebook page. We are going to talk to Chris Case, and he's going to talk about recycling here in the Alger County area and Recycling 906. We'll also talk to Nicole Lasak, who also, she's been in the Munising School District forever. She's born and raised here in Munising. Nicole Lasak, just getting promoted to William G. Mather Elementary School principal. We'll talk to her about her new role today as well. We're going to take this time out. Once again, sponsored by Miners Falls Mini Golf in this opening segment. I'd like to thank them for everything that they do, especially giving prizes away for Radio Bingo on Thursday. Would like to thank them for everything, but we're going to take this quick time out. When we come back, we're going to talk recycling with Chris Case from here in the Alger County area. You're listening and watching to Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. We'll be back right after this.
Alger County Communities That Care is a local organization that offers preventative programming addressing teen pregnancy, violence, delinquency, school dropout, substance abuse, depression, and suicide. We are looking for members in our community to help with many of these programs and fundraisers we offer. If you would like to get involved, please contact us at algerctc.org. Alger County United and Thriving, promoting a safe, healthy, and prosperous environment for all youth and adults.
Are you looking for an afternoon of family fun? How about a change to your date night routine? Come to Miners Falls Mini Golf to experience the fun for yourself. Explore the waterfalls and rivers while enjoying 18 holes of miniature golf. Find our latest flavors of chocolate shop ice cream by visiting our Facebook page. Open at noon daily. Visit Miners Falls Mini Golf off of M28, 2 miles east of Munising, or call 387-4653.
Hutphin's Health Mart welcomes you. Your hometown pharmacy is always here for you. Customer service comes first in all we do. You're gonna find that we love serving you at Hutphin's Health Mart. Service is still our best medicine.
Hutphin Health Mart has been a trusted source to handle your prescriptions for over 80 years. They're always ready to help in a personal way with their experienced and well-trained pharmacy staff. Family-owned and operated. Just people serving people. 119 Elm Avenue in beautiful downtown Munising, with convenient parking at the front or rear entrance.
At Hutphin's Health Mart, service is still our best medicine.
Tracy's Restaurant inside Roman and Munising is now open 6 nights a week. Come try our new approach to dining, a small plates culinary journey you won't forget. Enjoy small plates from cheese curds to baby wedge salads, to large entrees like surf and turf for 2, a collection of quality beef, lobster, shrimp, and bluegill. And top off your experience with our large selection of wine, premium whiskey, and new tap featuring local craft beer. Open Monday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Call 387-8000 for reservations. to 10 p.m. Call 387-8000 for reservations.
Back on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. As you see, my guest here is Chris Case, and we're here to talk about recycling. And Chris, we know that when you talk about recycling, it's not one of those, oh, let's go out and go recycle. Let's go. It's not like that. But recycling is a very important part of the Upper Peninsula. First, welcome to Coffee with Casey. And how are you? It's nice to actually see you here in studio. I've seen you around town, obviously, for things that have been going on in the past, but welcome to Coffee with Casey. How are you?
Thank you. Doing well. Enjoying visiting grandkids and helping Trevor out at the farm. You had him on last week. So
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, and helping him out with some of his projects and things. Of course, farm work is never done, so there's always something to do out there. Traveling and just having a good time, enjoying retirement.
And I will say this, you can go and get Trevor's meat at Hillside East, Case Country Farm, and go get some of those like pineapple sticks that he has, because they're so good. And the summer sausage that he had was phenomenal as well. So I'd like to thank Trevor for everything that he does for this show, and obviously providing meat to the Alger County and Upper Peninsula area. It's so good.
They do a great job out there at Case Country Farm.
Right. All right. So let's talk about recycling here in the Upper Peninsula. And I think we're going to talk about some misconceptions as well that happen here in the Upper Peninsula, and stuff that people still remember from like 10 years ago. I don't want to lead with that though, but I want to lead with Recycling 906. What is Recycling 906?
That's a really interesting facility that it's been several years in the making. It's a solid waste landfill in Marquette. Expanded, basically. They got a grant from the state to be able to develop a MRF, Materials Processing Center. And what that has done, it's allowed folks, like in the surrounding areas like Alger County, to have a place to take the recyclables. One of the things that we've always had difficulty with is we can collect them, people are interested, we can get the materials, but getting them to markets. For many years, for 30 years, in fact, we had a paper recycling program because of Manastique paper. They would take the materials that we collected, but we could only take paper. That was the only product that they used, and the rest of them were too costly to be able to package and move into markets down in Wisconsin and Lower Michigan. The other thing with recyclables is once you put them in you collect them or get them gathered up, they've got to be collected, they've got to be weighed, they've got to be processed into some kind of material that a manufacturer can utilize. And that's what the MRF has allowed, Recycle 906 MRF has allowed us to do, is they package it, prepare it, and get it to markets. And so that's opened up a great opportunity for us to expand our recycling opportunities.
And that is Recycle 906. And people are going to be like, wait, what? Didn't the landfill just open up one? Aren't there things in like Grand Marais, things like that? So let's go with recycling at the landfill here in Wetmore. There's some things, and it's kind of like an education as well, because people need to know what they can and can't recycle. And I know we had a recycling service for a couple of years when we moved here to Alger County, but one of the things that I think are a big misconception, cans of cat food, are those recyclable or not recyclable? Because some people say yes, other people say no. What are your thoughts on those little tin cans of cat food? Are those recyclable?
Yes. The issue with recycling is proper preparation. And things like tin cans and that are great. However, you have to remember that pretend that whatever you recycle as you're preparing it and putting it in a bag or a container, dump it on your garage floor and leave it there, sit there for a week. And then think about doing something with it. And that's basically what happens with it. So you have to have material that's clean. Cleanliness is the most important thing, because not only is it dumped on the floor and left there a while they're moving the stuff around it at the processing center, but people handle it. Sorting is a really intense part of the processing, and there's a dozen people that are working the conveyor belt handling all these products that you're recycling. And if it's not clean, or it's not properly prepared, or if there's glass mixed in with it where somebody could be injured from being cut, Those kind of things cause lots of problems. So remember, if you don't want to handle it, don't put it in there, because somebody's going to have to.
And let's talk about that, because there are more ways to recycle in Alger County than just the landfill. Fill us in on that.
Okay, the landfill, when the hauler that was doing curbside recycling, rural curbside recycling, when he had to pull out because he just couldn't afford the fuel and the costs of curbside in the rural area. When he pulled out, there was a void, and
Yes.
the landfill stepped in and said, okay, we're going to start collecting recyclables at the landfill. And they collect it in addition to, you can bring your solid waste there, and then you can bring your recycling there as well. They'll package it up and or bale it, and then or compact it, and then they take it to a processing facility as well. So it's just a transfer station, basically what it is. Recyclables go to the landfill into their dumpsters. They load it into a compactor and then take it to a processing site similar to what Recycle 906 has.
But that's not the only place in Alger County, because I know there's a place out in Chatham and there's a place in Grand Marais. Let's talk about that, because it's different times for everyone as well.
Right.
And I know at like the Whitmarsh building, for instance, there are a couple different times where you can go.
Right. Yeah. The Whitmarsh building is and it's done by the generosity of the owner. And he provides his dumpster that he uses for recycling. And I'm going to try to get his hours here. He does 6 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, Saturdays 8 to noon, and Tuesdays, 6 to 8 p.m.
And I think that's key to do the evening one.
Right.
Because a lot of people, obviously, they work, or they have things going on Saturdays, because we just got done talking about how compacted the weekends are here in the Upper Peninsula. So having that Tuesday night from 6 to 8, I think is very beneficial.
Right.
Super beneficial. So we have that, and then we also have the one in Grand Marais, and that's like what, the second and fourth weeks?
Yeah, they do that in conjunction with their city campground. And theirs is on the fourth Wednesday of the month from 9 to 11.
That's the beauty of live radio and live television right there. Getting a very important phone call. It's Chris Cases.
Pardon me, I was going to turn that off before I got over here.
It happens a lot. It happens to me a lot too.
You tuck that thing away and you forget about it. But yeah, on Grand Marais, it's the fourth Wednesday of the month from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And that is actually free to their residents. So there are opportunities for folks. What we're trying to do, our Alger County Recycling Group, and that's made up of representatives from the different units of government, the county and the townships and the city. And we're trying to find something that's comprehensive countywide and to make it convenient for everybody. Now, I'm thinking you're going to ask me about the one that just opened up in Munising.
Yes.
The Kiwanis of Alger County, they came to me and said, hey, we really like this recycling thing that's we're trying to get going. Can we help you? And so they submitted a grant, and it was funded to be able to provide a 3-month-long demonstration project. And we're doing it in the city of Munising at the old state police post is where we have the collections. And we have that on Monday from 2 to 6. And the concept of that is to find out, are people really serious about bringing their recycling in? A lot of people are interested in recycling, and we want to find out what the interest is, the quantities of materials we can get. We're asking people how they would like to pay for recycling. If that's something that they want to have as a millage, or do you want to pay per bag? How do you see, or how comfortable are you with paying for recycling? I'll get a little bit of a side. It costs money to recycle. It costs money to get rid of anything.
But nobody wants to pay for anything. You know that.
Exactly. And that's the idea, that millages, people are terrified of
Yes.
millages. And so, okay, well, how do we do this? Well, if people they find out that it's convenient and getting interested in it and finding a way to do it, then maybe, okay, well, I guess it is worth it. It's something that the state is working with. They've been working for the last several years on rewriting their solid waste management plans. And for the state, which trickles down to the counties updating their solid waste management plans and all. And recycling is going to be an important component of that. They've changed it. They no longer call it solid waste. It's materials management, and it's a mindset change to get people thinking, okay, anything that is I'm discarding has value. Almost anything. Eventually, some of the stuff has to go in the landfill, but there's lots and lots of materials that can be mined off of that waste stream, and that's why they're talking about materials management. And recycling is going to be a real integral component of that plan.
Chris Case joins us right here on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios and Gallery Coffee Company. And speaking of Jamadots, very important live and local Jamadot Stream TV, available only on the Jamadots networks, offers 12 channels with local news and sports and 72-hour playback, records every channel for 3 days without needing to set a DVR. Call Jamadots today, 387-9911. Jamadot's proud sponsor and supporter of Coffee with Casey here on WQXO and the Rome Media Facebook page. Now, with that being said, I told you I was going to talk to you about something that happened 10 years ago. I want to say it was around 10 years ago. It might have been 8. It could have been 12. But there was a story that came out many, many years ago that people still remember. Well, why recycle? It's just going to go to the trash anyway. That's the premise of the story that happened all those years ago. How do we change the thought process there where, just because you recycle, it's just going to go right in the trash? How do we change that philosophy from people and what they have from that article that was so it was happening? I'm not saying it wasn't happening, but how do we change that philosophy so people know it's not actually going to the dump, it's not going to the landfill, it's not going to be put just in the trash?
Well, I think there's a couple elements to that question. Is one is sometimes a load has to go to the landfill, and the reason for that being is if it's contaminated. That's why any of the collections that we do, we try to monitor to make sure that the material that's collected is good, clean material. If there's too much bad stuff in the load, even the most genuine efforts can be completely destroyed by some contamination in that load. If people aren't cleaning their things properly, if they put broken glass, that's the real kicker, the broken glass, because then that ruins that whole load, because people, again, have to handle that stuff. And if there's shards of glass in there, they don't want to subject their people to that. So legitimately, sometimes a load just has to be dumped, and it's because of a quality issue. Now, back many years ago in the infancy of this, I think a lot of people thought, okay, I'll recycle, and they wish cycled, we call it. Boy, I think this is recyclable. I'll put it in there. Boy, I hope this is recyclable. We'll let them decide. I'll put that in there. And so the quality of the materials that were collected was and I'm guessing why that happened. I don't know exactly why that may have happened, but I'm using.
But you're familiar with the story.
Exactly. And so it's possible that the loads were so contaminated because people weren't sophisticated in their recycling. It was new. Nobody knew that you should clean things, and that there's different kinds of, styrofoam can't go in there, and all this other stuff can't go in the load. And so the loads were probably so mixed that the products were obscure. The recyclable stuff was obscure by the trash, and that nothing was really done to educate people and ensure that those loads were clean. I think that's probably the significant factor of that.
I do want to point out, as Chris Case joins us right here, Coffee with Casey, from the Gallery Coffee Company and the Jamadot Studios, that I'm so old. I love saying that now because I'm starting to get to that point in life.
You're not talking to the right guy to become whining about your age.
This isn't cool. Me whining about my age, but I remember back in elementary school, that's when the recycling really started getting off its feet, and that was when I was in first and second grade. So I would say that was roughly around 88, 89 when the concept of recycling and the styrofoam, and you talk about different kinds of styrofoam, and it was with the lunch trays. Every lunch tray that we had that, the hot dogs came on and the corn came on, everything was a styrofoam tray. And we threw those away for many, many years. And the milk cartons, things like that, we just kept throwing those away. And then this whole concept of recycling started coming into play. And I remember being a part of that when I was in first and second grade, and it's still weird to me that I still kind of consider this kind of in its infancy stage, because it's still relatively new, but yet it's been around for a long time. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, and it's kind of ebbed and flowed. There in the 90s, there was a lot of push at the state level to kind of get things moving along. And so by the mid 90s, things were starting to come together again. I guess that what you were experiencing in school, that was gaining momentum. And then around the mid 90s, it kind of dropped off. The state funding kind of was restricted. There was a lot of economic problems with the funding from the state and everything. And that all kind of waned. And it's really been up until the last few years where that's kind of recovered and gaining some more momentum statewide. And of course, that certainly helps local when the state's pushing those kind of things. But I think the mindset of the public is way different now. There's a lot more concern and interest in environmental sustainability. And of course, recycling is certainly an element of that. And the opportunities are a lot greater for processing these materials and things. So it was long time coming. Like I said, I've been doing this for 30 years, and now is the time that it seems to be the most productive and positive in that amount of time, which is a shame it's taken so long, but that's just the way it is. So we just ride that wave and take advantage of it right now.
I want to point out, when it comes to recycling, you see the motor oil containers. Please do not put those in their recycling. Kleenex, please don't put those. Those are used. I mean, please don't. Paper towel, please don't use those. But there are some things that are misconceptions. And I know a lot of people that recycle, they put their stuff in a plastic bag, and that gets caught in a machine. Mm-hmm. Please don't do that either. Just bring a paper bag, maybe sell your milk container in there. What's the deal with the orange juice? Because it comes in a cardboard, but yet there's still plastic on it. Is an orange juice like container recyclable and not recyclable?
Well, you've got things like orange juice, and you've got milk containers, the cardboard milk containers. And
see, I didn't think about cardboard milk container. I just think of the one that's in the plastic.
Right.
Yeah.
And the plastic is good. That's number 2 plastic. That's super stuff, and that's really good. Also, while we're talking about plastic containers, leave the lids on.
Yes.
I talked with them this morning at Recycle 906 to ask them specifically about that. And they say if the lids are off, they get lost. They drop through the machinery, and then they can't be recycled. So leave the lids on the item that they come on. But your issue with the milk jugs, and we'll kind of segue over into the paper ones, because you've got orange juice containers and milk jugs, and there's a lot of the waxed boxes. They can't take the wax boxes because of the wax coating on there. So a cardboard milk container, it's cardboard, but it's got that wax on it, so you can't do that. So any juice boxes or liquid boxes that have that wax on them, you can't recycle. And at our collection that we're having with the Kiwanis, that's one of the big elements is the education component. And we have handouts that kind of get specifically into what you can and can't recycle and how to prepare that. And that's one of the advantages of people coming to the site, bringing their materials there. We kind of audit it a bit. We look at it and make sure that it's okay, and let people know what they can and cannot recycle. And then we give them handouts of a kind of a refrigerator post-up guide to recycling that they can utilize when they're preparing their materials.
Chris Case joins us right here as we're talking about recycling here in Alger County and in the Upper Peninsula. Father's Day weekend plans. What do you got going on?
We're gonna have some food with Trevor and Maria, I'm sure. Our daughters are out of state, so we won't have the kids there, but just kind of hanging out, doing what dads like to do. That's the idea.
I was told to ask you about your car show championship title.
Well, that's probably overstated, but yeah, I've got that 46 Chevy pickup that I mess around with, and I like to dress up as a gas station guy and then my gas pumps and stuff at the show, and everybody always enjoys that. So yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. But why you mentioned that is we are going to have our car show from the Munising Bay Cruisers Car Show on September 17th and 18th. So folks can be looking forward to that.
Yes, and that goes up to Grand Marais and comes back down here. I do want to touch on that real quick, and I'll try to get you back on the show or someone on the show before that happens. Obviously, Superior Street not going to host it again. Where's last year was in the Family Fair, now Napa parking lot. Where is this year's show going to be?
We're going to be right smack dab in the center of traffic and everything at the traffic circle.
Okay.
Between the traffic circle and the lake. The mill has been kind enough to allow us to use their property there, and it's going to be on the grass, but it'll be right at the traffic circle.
Do you go and do any of the other classic car shows or anything like that in like the Bay Cruisers down there in Escanaba, or some of the other ones that go up in Grand Marais, things like that?
I haven't in near years, but early on, after I restored the truck back in the 90s, mid 90s, I was doing the circuit.
Okay.
And there is a lot of car shows. For a person that wants to see a car show, there's something going on pretty much every weekend in the UP for car shows, especially this year, because last year they had to shut that down and everybody's anxious to get their cars out now.
Chris Case right here on Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, also at WQXO.com. Jamadots Studios, we are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and of course we have the podcast on SoundCloud and on Spotify. We're going to take this time out. When we come back, we're going to talk to Nicole Lasak right after this about her getting promoted to the Mather Elementary School principal position. You're listening to Coffee with Casey on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO.
Experience the freshest whitefish around with the original wild whitefish sandwich or basket from A-Burger. A-Burger works with Van Landschutz & Sons to provide you a crispy fish sandwich with American cheese and pickles on a toasted bun. Or order the wild whitefish basket that comes with coleslaw, tartar sauce, and fries. You can pair your meal with a fountain drink or beer. A-Burger is open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., located at the only stoplight in Munising.
Timber Products Company, a leader in diversified wood product sales, manufacturing, and transportation, is now hiring primary day shift production laborers for their manufacturing facility in Munising, Michigan. They offer many opportunities for job growth and advancement in a comprehensive benefits package, including life insurance, health, dental, vision, and prescription coverage, vacation and holiday pay, flexible spending accounts, and a 401k plan with employer contributions. Timber Products Company is an equal opportunity employer, including protected veterans and people with disabilities. See all Timber Products Company opportunities on the Careers tab at timberproducts.com. Contact Rochelle Hanna at rhanna@timberproducts.com. That's rhanna@timberproducts.com.
Hey, did you get the new chicken Uber pasty from Miner's Pasties yet?
No, I didn't. Does it have the taters?
Yep,
Does it have the rutabaga?
of course.
Does it have the onions and the carrots?
Yep, those two. It's a true Uber pasty from Miner's with all the right fillings and that perfect flaky crust.
That sounds great. How do I get one?
The same as always down at Miner's Pasties, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 201 West Munising Avenue in Munising.
This is the Alger General Agency Munising Minute, powered by Rome Media. The Village of Newberry is out $307,000 as part of an arbitration settlement with former village manager Jennifer James Meslow. Of that, $250,000 must be paid within 21 days of the signing agreement. After that, 3 installments of $19,000 will be paid sometime between June 30th of this year until January 31st of 2023. Also, as part of the agreement, letters published on the village website discrediting James Meslow must be removed. James Meslow was the village manager from January of 2017 to September of 2019. This information was released as part of a Freedom of Information Act request from the Newberry News after the Newberry Village Council agreed to the terms in a meeting on May 18th. A sailboat capsized north of Marquette on Thursday afternoon, but all are safe following the rescue. The sailboat capsized between Partridge Island and Middle Island Point in Marquette Township. 7 agencies were involved in the rescue. A fire warning is in effect for most of Friday across the central Upper Peninsula, including Marquette and Delta counties heading westward. Additional concern should be held by those in western Alger County as well. Bay College announced yesterday that it will be adding a volleyball program next season. This will be the 7th athletic program for the Norse. The Munising Minute is brought to you by Alger General Agency, independent insurance agents you can depend on. Providing big insurance options from a local business, check out our website at algergeneralinsuranceenagency.com or call us at 387-2018. For Row Media, I'm Bryce Burge.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local, independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment.
Visit Alger General Agency in Munising today at algergeneralinsuranceenagency.com. Agency in Munising today at algergeneralinsuranceenagency.com.
Back on Coffee with Casey, right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, live from the Jamadots studios here in Gallery Coffee Company, which is open until 2 o'clock. Doesn't matter if you're listening on Friday or Saturday morning, open until 2 o'clock. This portion of Coffee with Casey brought to you by Pictured Rocks Golf Course, which is hosting a tournament this weekend. 90 teams are involved, and they will be going all day and well into the night. I think the last does Joe play in this or no?
He has in the past, but not right now.
Okay. Well, anyway, Nicole probably knows how late these golf tournaments go at Picture Rocks Golf Course because there's so many teams and they accommodate so many people. And I said earlier with Jeremiah LaFlamme and Harabaka, like some of the good golfers in this area, like they are normally playing late into the day on Sunday because they normally shoot good scores and they tee off like around 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And that means when you have so many teams, you're getting done at 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock.
I don't think they're complaining.
No, probably not. But anyway, it's a fun tournament to be at. If you have a chance to go there, I talk about their fish fry on Friday night, whether it's blackened or grilled. They do have an excellent fish fry at the golf course Friday night. Go there if you're listening to us on Friday to Picture Rocks Golf Course and get their fish fry. But Nicole Lasak joins us right here. Coffee with Casey. Busy week for you.
Yeah, it was exciting.
All right. So how long have you been a teacher?
I started teaching in 2010, but it was kind of a slow process. I started coaching for the district in 2004 with sideline and competitive cheer, and then realized that education is kind of where I wanted to go. So I had to go back to school. Once I got my degree for teaching, I taught one class 1 year, and then I taught 2 classes.
Slowly worked your way.
Yeah, so it took a while. But yeah.
Let's talk about that because born and raised here in Munising, you become a teacher at Munising High School.
Yeah.
And the different personalities that you have to encounter on a daily basis, but science.
Yeah.
What is it about science?
I've always loved science, and my original degree was actually in biology.
Okay.
So I went to Northern, I got my degree in biology, ecology, and wanted to use it in the area. There wasn't a lot of opportunities with that degree, and the 2 that I did find were education-based. So I taught at Senior National Wildlife Refuge in the summer. I did a couple internships there. At the New Zoo in Green Bay, I did a couple internships there, but it was always education. And like I said, as I started coaching, I realized that that's kind of where I wanted to go, and I would have opportunity in the UP to be able to do that. So,
well, it's weird because you get the science background, but yet you're going to like a zoo in Green Bay. So what are you doing with your education at that zoo? Is it like water temperatures? Things like that?
No, I was doing more like getting out the animals that they had there that the people could interact with.
Okay.
And kind of teaching the kids and adults that were there about those animals and, how to protect them and those kind of things. So,
well, not only are we talking about your teaching background, and we're going to talk about her getting promoted to the William G. Elementary School principal, but you've talked about coaching and competitive cheer.
Yeah.
That is a lot of time. That is exhausting.
Yeah.
Well, you're a coach. And here's the thing. If you're a coach, it just never left at school. No. You bring it home, you think about it. Sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night, but I got this, or, we should have done this better. This is why we didn't win kind of deal.
Yeah.
When you're a coach, you're never done coaching.
Yep.
So that's why I say it can be tiring at times because it happens. But you are now coaching. You're a teacher and you're a coach.
Yeah.
how did you get into competitive cheer? Were you a cheerleader?
Yeah, I competed here in Munising under my coach Kathy Mutter, and then I coached with her for a few years before she left to go downstate to coach down there. But yeah, it wasn't a passion like right away, but as I did it more time, I feel like I always kind of had that coaching brain, and her and I, even as a sophomore, junior, senior, we worked together on creating our routines and stuff. So when the opportunity came up to be a middle school coach, I jumped on it. And it's been a passion of mine ever since.
So, and I know the difference because I used to go to these competitions when I was in high school, because you know that's where the girls were.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between like a cheerleader that's like on a Friday night football game and competitive cheer that takes place in the wintertime? Because you guys have been very successful.
Yeah, competitive cheer is more, we always say it's for us. We're cheering for our own goals. On the sideline cheer, we do it for practice. It allows us to get ready for competitive, and the kids love it. It's fun. Friday night football is the best, right? But competitive, we get to do it for our own selves, and you have to train differently. It's 3 rounds. Our first round is more just straight up cheer like you'd see on a Friday night. Our second round is more tumbling, gymnastics, and then our third round is the stunting round, where you get to stunt and do gymnastics together. And yeah, we've been very successful. Kathy brought the program to where it was, and then I just dreamed to take it as far or farther, and I think we've done a good job.
And 2 years ago, you guys went down to states.
Yeah. In my last year, obviously, we this past year we didn't
2019.
2019, yeah.
Yes.
We went to state finals, and we went to state finals the year before that.
Yes.
And in 2019, we tied our program highest at 5th place in the state. We won a district that year. And those girls that I had, most of them I coached since 6th grade. So that was probably one of my biggest achievements, is just taking those girls from 6th grade to seniors and, reaching that goal. So
how important is that for you as a coach and as a teacher to have those group of girls and to have those girls know your expectations for the program?
I think both with teaching and coaching, you're trying to reach kids, and build relationships. And that's probably what I miss most about coaching, because I wasn't able to do it last year, is you don't get as close with the kids to build those relationships. And those relationships are really what changes lives. You can really make an impact on those kids when you're with them every day.
Nicole Lasak joins us right here on Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO from the Jamadot Studios from Gallery Coffee Company. How gut-wrenching was it not being able to coach last year? And well, and I bring this up because competitive cheer specifically, basketball was a go, but competitive cheer was not.
Well, and it wasn't.
And the rules kept changing.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily because of the rules, though they did change a million times. And it was very stressful, because I'm also on our region board for state of Michigan for our region. I'm on the board, and I listened to those coaches kind of struggle. But we just didn't have the numbers this year. And, I think COVID has a lot to do with that as well, as just lack of motivation. Kids are at home and they just get complacent to be at home. But I went to a couple, my seniors' graduation parties, looking at the pictures, and I'd start tearing up. It's tough. I love coaching.
So you're a teacher, you're a coach, and then the opportunity comes up because people are retiring now.
Yes. Yeah.
People are retiring. And I know you had your hand, and you applied obviously to be the principal at the high school and at the elementary school. Take us through that process. You have a young son that's still at William G. Elementary School. I plan on you disciplining my boy as well, because I've seen those two together and the trouble that they can get in. But take us through becoming a principal now and your teaching skills going into being a principal.
Yeah. So, when you're a teacher, you have to get so many credits to renew your license. So at first I was just going, for my master's in science. But as I got more comfortable in my job, I realized that I kind of wanted to make a bigger impact. And the best way to do that is be an administrator. So in 2017, I got my administration degree, and I knew eventually, that DJ and Mr. Kelto would be retiring, and I was hoping someday that I could step in and, and fill those big shoes. I'm really excited to go to Mather. It's going to be a whole different ball game for me. From high school kids to elementary kids is a different beast, I like to say, but I think the staff at Mather is excellent, and I think that they're going to make my transition not as difficult because they are so seasoned at what they do. But I'm excited to make an impact and make some changes and facilitate those teachers and what their dreams and goals are at Mather. So,
well, I do want to talk about that and the staff, because it's not like you don't ever see the staff at Mather, because I mean, it's I don't want to say a small school district, but everybody kind of knows each other.
I mean, obviously, know everybody, but we don't, there's not as much interaction, I guess, between the two buildings as maybe you would hope there would be.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, I know everyone because I'm from here. So
You're right. Nicole Lasak joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. So let's talk about that. When do you start getting with your new team and making sure you guys get on the same page and what the new school year is going to look like?
Yeah. So the school board approved the hiring on the 29th. And, my contract, I think we're still kind of working on that, but July 1st was what I've heard. But I do plan to get with Mr. Paquette a couple of days, hopefully before he retires. He's done June 30th.
Yes. I want to say the contracts go like July 1st through June 30th.
Yeah. So
yes,
I'm going to try to sneak in there and pick his brain a little bit before he leaves.
Right.
So
are you going to get that nice office that he has?
I guess so. I don't know. I'm assuming.
So what's that process like, though? I mean, how many phone calls? I mean, was there a bunch of people that applied for this job? Do you know that? Do they tell you any of that stuff?
From hearsay, I mean, Mr. Kelso kind of informed me here and there, but I want to say we had like 9 or 10 applicants for the high school position, and then I think anywhere from 12 to 13 for Mather.
Okay.
So then they narrowed it down to who they wanted to interview. We had 2 different interview committees, one for the high school and one for the elementary, which included 2 board members, the 2 administrators, and 2 teachers from each building.
Okay.
And when I interviewed, they were all there because just to make it simple. I don't.
Is it nerve-wracking?
It was. I mean, it's everybody, but still, it's nervous.
Right.
And this is a big goal of mine. So obviously, there's a lot of pressure on that end. So, but in the end, I felt it went really well, and I was happy, going with either job. So
okay. Well, and I want to point out that they have split athletic director duties and principal. So you are the principal at William G. Mather Elementary School.
Mrs. Hayes has been helping out the school since she retired, doing like federal grant programming, and I'm going to take that over from her. So she's going to be helping me take that over as well.
I do want to get to this before I start getting to some of the comments on here, but
oh no,
they're good. Don't worry. Let's. I forgot I was going to go with that now.
Sorry.
No. Let me read Peggy's comment first. It says, best move that Munising school system could probably make. Nicole loves our community and is going to be a fantastic administrator. Only thing we lost was a great science teacher. Best of luck making Munising proud.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
Now, knowing where you live, and I know it's not your job because you're not the superintendent, but how much influence do you say, hey, by the way, got to go to the rock cut today. Maybe we should call this a snow day today.
I don't think I have any influence on that.
Yeah. Seriously though, I mean, how scary is it points going through that? Not the rock cut, but I'm sorry, but what do you call it? The station? The
pumping station.
The pump station.
Yeah.
Rock cut to Marquette. I'm sorry. The pump station. How much influence do you have with, or how scary has it been going through the pump station?
It hasn't been too bad actually, because the first year we lived there, they shut the road down like 5 times. It was crazy. I'm serious. I one year I had to Joe had to take me on a snowmobile to the high school to get to districts.
Oh my gosh.
Because the road was closed. All my kids were at the high school, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to go to districts. So he took me on a snowmobile down to the high school so I could go. The year after that, it was districts again. The road was going to close. He was out plowing, and he saw them setting up the barricades. So I went through a train. But I don't know. People were like, you're not going to want to live out there, but it's fine.
It's nice. I remember my question now. With you becoming the principal, is that more hours at school compared to a teacher? Because we talked about the coaching thing too, and I don't know if we can still do the coaching or not do the coaching.
I would with the coaching. I think I'm just going to focus on the principal job.
Okay.
I
just
want to. I want to make sure I'm doing that job well. It's really important that I do that job well. But hours wise, I mean, I don't think it's going to be much more. I mean, by the time you're teaching and then coaching 2 hours, and you know what I mean?
It's going to be about the same.
Yeah, I'm not worried about, and if it takes more, it takes more, you know.
some of the things that you want to bring to the elementary school?
I have to get to know the building first. So I don't have a lot of like dreams and goals exactly for Mather, just because I don't, know how the day-to-day runs as well.
Right.
I'm going to have to lean on the teachers a lot for what they want to see happen at Mather.
Okay.
So my first goal is really to get with them. They're going to be doing summer school and, and emailing and surveying the staff just to see kind of what they want to see done. But they seem to run, very smoothly. Like I said, they're all seasoned veteran teachers. So, but I'm going to have to lean on them more for what they want to see facilitated.
All right. Anything else you'd like to get out before we get you off the air?
No, but thank you, everybody. I've had a lot of support. The community's been great. So I really appreciate that.
You guys got any Father's Day plans?
No, not really. I mean, I'm going to be making dinner, but other than that.
What time?
Yeah.
Any excuse to go have a couple of cold pops.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
On the
Yes.
lake. Come on
Yes.
over.
Nicole Lasak joins us right here. Coffee with Casey, AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO. We'll take our final timeout right after this. You're listening to Coffee with Casey on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on YouTube, on the Rome Media Facebook page. Of course, on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO, and at WQXO.com. We'll take this time out, come back, finish the show right after this.
When it's time for you to tackle a home project, you go to 41 Lumber because 41 Lumber has the best products so your projects will last. Every kind of home project, you name it, 41 Lumber has it. And 41 Lumber has the experience to help you with any questions you have along the way. 41 Lumber even offers complete home and project design services. Your projects start at 41 Lumber with better products for better results. 41 Lumber, building your dreams one project at a time.
As you're on your way out of town this camping season, make sure to stop at Hillside Party Store East. We have all your camping gear. We also sell live bait, fire starters, and boiled peanuts. Hillside Party Store East is also your home for Case Country Farms, including bacons, brats, brat dogs, breakfast sausage, chorizo, Italian, pork chops, pork steaks, and ham steaks. Hillside Party Store East, located between Connors and Hilltop Road.
As things slowly get back to normal in the Upper Peninsula, the employees at Embers Credit Union are here, ready to serve you. Our frontline staff is ready to safely handle cash and checks and answer questions you have about your account. Our loan team is ready to help out with new or existing loans in person, on the phone, or through email. Our commercial team is ready to assist you with your business loan and the Payment Protection Program. We are always ready to take members to the next level. We're Embers Credit Union. Let's live it up.
Thinking about upgrading the bedroom carpet or the floor in your home? Now is the perfect time to get a quote from Flynn's Flooring in Wetmore. Flynn's Flooring is locally owned to give you the personal attention you deserve, from carpet to hardwood, or maybe even a vinyl or tile floor. Flynn's Flooring will sit down and go over options with you. So, what are you waiting for? Call and set up an appointment with Flynn's Flooring today at 387-1993.
Enjoy a great meal while taking in the beautiful scenery of Hovey Lake at the Buckhorn Resort. Located on Buckhorn Road in Munising, the Buckhorn Resort has over 10 burgers to choose from. Try their signature burger, the Buckhorn Burger, a bourbon glazed 3rd pound Angus beef patty smothered in chunky blue cheese and bacon, served on a home-style sandwich roll. The Buckhorn Resort opens at 11 a.m. daily, or you can call 387-3559. All trails lead to the Buckhorn Resort.
Back on Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO as we get ready for this Father's Day weekend. Gorgeous day on this Friday, and Saturday's going to be a little bit cooler, but it's also still really nice. I want to point out that we are going to be broadcasting the 4th of July parade here on on the Rome Media Facebook page, along with the YouTube Facebook page. So if you are unable to get out, or you don't want to go out, you don't feel comfortable going out, we will be bringing you the Facebook and YouTube feed of the Munising 4th of July parade. Also, if you live out of town, we will be bringing you this parade live. Thanks to these great sponsors. We can't thank them enough. If you want to get a part of the parade, please give me a call, 387-1400, 387-1400, and you can get on like these fine sponsors that you see on your screen. Putvins, Jamadots, Ron's Body Shop, Shunk Furniture, Munising Flower Shop, A Burger, Taco Potamus, Hillside East, and the Alger County Veteran Affairs. So I'd like to thank them for sponsoring this 4th of July parade, and we're super proud to bring it to you on the Rome Media Facebook page and on YouTube page. If you're going to Grand Marais, please be safe this weekend with the splashdown. If you're going to the Great Lakes Rodeo in Gwin, have yourself a fantastic time. If you're going golfing at the golf course, Picture Rocks Golf Course, enjoy yourself. Make sure that you give yourself plenty of time and have yourself a few beverages. And I will say that Joe Lasak might be the first angry face in show history due to the fact that he's not playing golf this weekend. If you want to come over, Joe, you're more than welcome to come over, hang out, and we'll kick it a little bit. But for Bryce Burge, thank you for joining us, executive producer Bryce Burge, for Coffee with Casey right here on AM 1400, 97.7 WQXO Munising.